I'm a little grainy today. I'm not quite sure what that's about. That's okay. Is that better? No, not any better. Just be grainy. Anyways, hi guys. Happy Tuesday. Sorry, I'm trying to get settled here. I apologize that I'm so late, starting 20 minutes late. My husband, I guess my father-in-law, we celebrated his 80th birthday this last weekend. And so it was a big party, and my husband's Hawaiian, and I'm sure a lot of you know how parties go. I'm sure your guys' parties are very similar, but it was lots of family, lots of food prep, lots of late nights, lots of stress, but also a lot of fun and a lot of love and excuse me, a lot of love and a lot of reconnecting, which was so fun. And he has family in New Zealand and Australia, and so they came. There was a bunch of first cousins that came, which was really fun. And then anyways, so I find like today's the day, like we don't have anything planned. We're just trying to get back to like a normal thing. And so I was a little late. I'm sorry, my thing is lagging, so I'll try not to move too much, but let's just jump right in. So today we're going to talk about the promotions for June, and I apologize, I didn't think of this till now, but I think at the beginning of the month we'll talk about the promotions so you guys can be prepared to share them. So in July, whatever that first Tuesday is, excuse me, I'll get on and I'll do some things. We'll talk about those promotions. So I'm gonna share my screen, and then I'll read from this so you guys can learn more about the essential oils that are being promoted this month. And it looks like you guys have some new sorry, give me a second. You have some new oils that are being launched. So I'm really excited about those for you guys. So I'm gonna get in and share my screen. And we'll just get started. Okay. I have to move my face over here. So I don't know if you guys know very much about how to get here. But you can come. So this is the doTERRA, the official doTERRA India website. And you guys can come here. And they're having a doTERRA India convention in Mumbai, which is so exciting. So it's in October. I think I'll do another video about this week, so we can go into a deeper dive. But if you can, I highly suggest you going. Ours in the US is in September, and so I've got my tickets for that. My team here in America is getting their tickets for that. So we're just really excited about that. So, excuse me, you can find the promotions on this strip right here. But you can also come here and come to resources. And then, oh gosh, where did it go? This is where I found it last time. Maybe it's not. Oh yeah, so sorry. You come here to discover. Here's your product education. You can learn about the aroma touch technique. You can actually get certified in that. You can look at social media, right? You can meet your leaders. And then here are the monthly promotions and events. So you guys can come here to learn more about the convention. And here are the monthly promotions. So we're just going to click on that. This is really simple. And it's going to give you all of the June promotions. So first things first, you guys can get 10% off of Fennel, which is sweet fennel. And it can help when you're trying to avoid processed sugars and sweets. So I'm gonna look it up in my book here. Fennel. I love this book so much. Okay, so Fennel is the oil of responsibility. Okay. So Fennel supports the individual who has a weakened sense of self. The individual may feel defeated by life's responsibilities, having little or no desire to improve their situation. Fennel reignites a passion for life. It encourages the soul to take full ownership and responsibility for its choices. Fennel teaches that life is not too much or too big to handle. I I love that so much. I feel like, especially as we're building the businesses that we want to build, it's going to really push our boundaries, right? Like having to reach out and talk to people, having to invite people to come to your house and learn about this, right? Having inviting people to have one-on-ones with you, using the oils, sharing the oils, like that's going to test you and it's going to stretch you. And there's going to be times where you're going to have the thought, I don't believe in myself. And we have an oil, right? Fennel, that you can get 10% off during the month of June. So for the rest of the month, that can help support your sense of self. It can help support you in taking responsibility for your life, right? Like it just said, it teaches us that life is not too much or too big to handle, right? And it encourages the soul to take full ownership and responsibility for its choices. I need to get me some Fennel. I actually just gave some to I gave some to my mom. I shouldn't have done that. Gotta get it back. Okay. I'm going to keep going. So Fennel encourages individuals to live in integrity with themselves despite the judgment of others, right? So something that I've learned, especially with our emotions, is when we don't process our emotions, when we avoid it, when we try to stuff it, when we try to ignore it, when we pretend it's not there, like, right? Like when we try to push it down, we move further and further away from that true, authentic person, like self, right? Because we don't acknowledge what we're feeling, and so that moves us away from who we truly are. And so I love that we just said that. They just said that, and I can talk about what that looks like too, and how that looks like. But if you are feeling like this, like a call to share these oils, and you're not doing it, then that means you're not living in integrity, right? Because you have something that you want to share, that you your soul, right, is telling you, I need to share these things. And just a side note, like this is just as much for me as it is for you. It's actually, I'm hosting a party on Saturday, and there are a few people who I've invited a few times and just haven't been able to make it. And I'm like, oh, should I invite them? Should I not? Right. And part of me is like, no, don't invite them. You don't want to bug them. You don't want to keep bugging them. But I feel like these people I want to invite, like I feel like they need to hear this message and I want to share it with them. And so anyway, so this, oh, sorry, this, sorry, I don't know what's going on here. Anyways, reading this is just as much for me. No, you can't have my phone. Okay. So it says, when they have been paralyzed by fear and shame, this oil gets them moving again. Fennel reestablishes a strong connection to the body and the self when there has been weakness or separation. And most of us, we don't realize it, but most of us are not really living in our bodies. We're on autopilot, we're in survival mode, and we're letting our subconscious brain, right? Our primitive brain, that reptile brain, the lower brain, be in control. And when that happens, we're not in control, right? Like we're letting something else run our life. And again, I can do a video on this because I know a lot about it and I've talked a lot about it, but so I'll have to do that. So Fennel also supports an individual in listening to the subtle messages of the body. Oh my gosh. I need to get Fennel. So our bodies, when we're in that state of survival, when we're in autopilot, when we're in that constant fight or flight stress response, we're not living in our body. We're living up here in our brain, and we're disconnected from the body. And it's so interesting because I've been learning about this the past 3 years, but our bodies know what we need. And a lot of times we just need to just take a break and listen to them. And this is one of the like top things I love about essential oils, right? We have patterns in our lives where something happens, right? And we have lots of thoughts about that. So say, I don't know, just something happens in your life, right? And you have the thought, I'm not good enough, right? And when you feel that, like when you think that thought, there's an emotion attached to that thought, right? And for me, a lot of like, as when I said that, like, I'm not good enough, like there was a pit in my stomach, like my stomach sank, sort of, there was a pit in my stomach. Shame came up, feeling embarrassed, right? So our feelings, sorry, my boys are, which one? Yes, as long as you play with, he can play with you. And she needs to go outside.
I did take her outside.
Okay, let her outside again then.
Why?
Because I'm teaching something. Okay? You can go play Epic Mickey too. Sorry, guys. Okay. So when I said that thought that I'm not good enough, right? And so many of us have that belief. I'm not good enough, pretty enough, smart enough, thin enough, right? Like any of those enoughs. There's a feeling that's attached to it. And our subconscious brain, our child brain, thinks that if we feel that feeling, we're going to die. So hundreds of thousands of years ago, tens of thousands of years ago, right? Even just thousands of years ago, when we were hunter-gatherers, we lived in tribes, right? And our primitive brain helped us as we were out gathering food for our families, right? It helped us when we were out in the middle of a field and a tiger appeared, right? And it would send messages to the body that we're in danger. Let me take over because I know what to do so I can keep you safe and I can keep you alive, right? And so we allow for a moment, the subconscious brain to take over so that we can just respond quickly to get out of that situation or fight that tiger or to freeze, right? So we either fight, flight, or freeze in these situations. And if I were there, I would run from the tiger, right? Probably I would try to run. Unless I had like a big club or something, I would try to maybe fight it. But after that was over, our body would come out of the stress response, right? It would come out of that fight or flight response. Everything would go back to homeostasis, would come back down to normal, right? And then we would be able, there's a stress cycle that we go through. we would be able to complete the stress cycle, right? By our adrenaline would go down, our blood would come back into our like major organs, instead of being pumped out to the larger muscles. Our digestion would speed back up, right? But nowadays that doesn't happen because our sophisticated brain, not our, sorry, our primitive brain hasn't evolved with us. And so it thinks things like asking somebody to partner with you, right? With doTERRA, asking somebody over so you can share the oils, right? So being in traffic, public speaking, anything like that, like anything that where you feel stress, our primitive brain or subconscious brain takes over. And because we're so impacted and we're so bombarded by outside sources, our primitive brain is like, hey, you need to take a break, let me take over. And so some of us allow that to happen without even knowing it, right? That's just a triggered response. And so as we grow up, all of these things are coming at us, and our primitive brain is wired to keep us alive. It's wired to be efficient, to seek reward, and to keep us safe, right? Those three things. And because we're bombarded by all of this stuff all of the time, it's constantly on alert. Like, this is going to kill you. This is going to kill you. This is going to kill you. Right. And so I just love, and because of that, we're always living up here, right? We're living in autopilot. We're not paying attention. We're not present in our lives. It's sort of like our body's doing things, but we're kind of living out here, right? Like our consciousness is living out here. And so I just love that. That's the thing that I love about essential oils is instead of doing those old habits and those old patterns, when we feel a feeling that we don't want to feel, we can go get an oil that will help us. And that disrupts the pattern that we've established in our lives. And it allows us to come into center. It allows us to move back into that most authentic self. And it allows us to start taking care of ourselves in a healthy way. And it's such a simple thing, right? These oils, right? Like these little brown bottles that we have, it's so simple because we can rewire our brain. Oh, I'm feeling shame. I'm feeling disappointment. I'm feeling embarrassed. I'm feeling discouraged, right? I'm feeling jealous. Instead of doing whatever it is that's going to numb you out, right? Or buffer away that feeling, you can go and you can grab an oil. And so in this instance, go and grab Fennel, right? Because it supports an individual in listening to the subtle messages of the body. This is especially, well, I just talked about this, but I'm going to read it. So this is especially important in situations where there has been a loss of connection to the body's natural signals due to emotional eating. Holy cow. Severe dieting, eating issues, or drug abuse. So all of those things align with me because I've done all of those things. Severe dieting, eating issues, drug abuse, emotional eating. Through attunement with the body's actual needs, Fennel curbs cravings for experiences that dull the senses. This oil then supports the individual in hearing the body's signals of hunger, thirst, satiation, or exhaustion, right? So those four things. Fennel is also supportive in regaining one's appetite for nourishment, food, and life itself. How beautiful is that? So it talks about, I'm probably not going to get through all of these, but that's okay. So it talks about suggested uses. You can inhale it, right? Or diffuse it, topically dilute 1 to 3 drops with a carrier oil and apply it over the entire stomach before or after meals. And internally take 1 to 2 drops under the tongue in a capsule or in water. So good companion oils are ginger, tangerine, grapefruit, patchouli, blue tansy, eucalyptus, and turmeric. The negative emotions, it helps raise that vibration, our lack of desire, unwilling to take responsibility, shameful, weak sense of self, numb to body signals. And the positive properties are responsible, in tune with body, and satiated. How beautiful is that? I wish Fennel was 10% off here in America. So, Pono, did you? Nope, never mind. Nothing, I love you. I thought my son took my mouse, but he didn't. Okay. So next one, let's talk about DigestZen. So if you make, I love this, show your tummy some love with DigestZen digestive blend. So make sure you place, this is if you get 125 PV LRP on or before June 15th, and you'll get a free 5 milliliter of DigestZen, okay? And so we'll just read about DigestZen. Here we go. So DigestZen is the oil of assimilation.
Wash my hands.
Good job. You cannot get on my phone. Because your brothers are being naughty.
I will not be naughty on it.
You can play Minecraft. That's it. Okay?
But can I watch a show?
If you want to watch a show, you can go watch it on my TV.
Mom.
Yeah. Okay. Go into the other room.
My room? Where you going?
In my room. So I can still hear you.
Oh. I made it.
I know. You can just,
Everything is changing.
yeah. You can just watch, you can just play Minecraft. Nothing else. Okay. So DigestZen, sorry about that, is the oil of assimilation. DigestZen was formulated to support the body's digestive system. It also has a powerful emotional quality for supporting individuals who lack interest in life and in the physical world. These really can go together with Fennel. They may have a tendency to take on too much at once. This overload of information and stimulation may lead to an emotional form of indigestion, where they cannot break down life experiences into palatable forms. Man, I feel like the Lord's speaking to me right now. Let's see. The soul literally becomes overfed and undernourished as it cannot translate its experiences into a usable form. When individuals are fully overwhelmed and overstimulated, they may lose their appetite for food, life, and the physical world in general. They may become apathetic about their situation and begin neglecting their body's basic needs. DigestZen combines powerful oils to support the body and the spirit in assimilating new information and events. It increases the ability to receive new information, new relationships, and new experiences, and be open to new possibilities. This blend aids individuals in digesting life's many experiences. So the ingredients in this are anise, peppermint, ginger, caraway, coriander, tarragon, and of course fennel. And anytime I smell DigestZen, that's what I smell. I smell the fennel. So similar to fennel, you can inhale it from the bottle, diffuse it, or place it in your hands and rub and inhale. And then you can rub some right here. It's my favorite thing to do. Topically, so that was around you. Aromatic is around you. Topically is on you. So apply 1 to 3 drops over the entire stomach. And then internally take 1 to 2 drops under the tongue in a capsule or in water. Negative emotions, it helps dissipate or if you want to feel less of these, overstimulated, loss of appetite for food or life, difficult assimilating new information or experiences, overwhelmed, apathetic, or unenthusiastic. Positive properties, assimilating experiences, adjusting, nourished, enthusiastic, and engaged. And I love that word nourished so much. When we're taking the time, and it doesn't have to be a lot of time, right? Just like the 30 seconds it takes to go get a bottle of essential oils and use it, right? Like if we're spending time nourishing our bodies, we're also nourishing, we're taking time for self-care, and self-care is so, so important. We have to take care of ourselves in order to take care of other people. And this is, again, another benefit of these oils, because not only can they take care of us, they can help us take care of other people, right? It's just so beautiful. So that's DigestZen. So you can get that as the product of the month. If you order over 200 PV or over this month, and that's during the entire month, you'll get a 10 roll on of Adaptiv Touch, which I love so, so much. You'll get Wild Orange and you'll get Balance. Sorry, I'm just going to Adaptiv so you guys can learn. And I think I've done this one before, but maybe I haven't. I don't know. I mean, I've read it a lot for me. So Adaptiv is the oil of adaptability. In here, it talks about I don't know if it talks about it in here. Anyways, but I was reading up about Adaptiv, and it's like it was talking about how what I was reading was saying we can't, oftentimes we can't control the stressors in our lives because we can't, right? Those are outside forces coming at us, but we can be adaptable. We can learn to adapt. And so that's why I love a lot of things, but that's why I love Adaptiv so much, because it allows us to adapt to the things that are out of our control. So Adaptiv was formulated to assist with anxious states. So it imparts reassurance and calm when one is caught in cycles of constriction, tension, worry, solitude, or uneasiness. When individuals have experienced prolonged stress or traumatic experiences, the mind-body responds by becoming hypervigilant in order to protect them from future harm. So again, it's that subconscious brain. It's that primitive brain that kicks in, right, when we've experienced chronic stress, traumatic experiences, which we've all experienced those in one way or another. Our body just, again, goes into survival mode so that we don't keep getting hurt. It's a protection, right? But what it doesn't realize is that by trying to protect us from experiencing those feelings, we're killing ourselves. So that's where our prefrontal cortex comes in, because that separates us from every other animal. We get to think about our thinking. We get to make decisions. We get to use our prefrontal cortex to parent the child brain, right? Okay. I feel like I'm having all these like aha moments right now. This is the stuff that I need to teach. So, this state is so we're talking about the hypervigilant state, right? So this state is antithetical to well-being and positive functioning. So it's just not good for us. Adaptiv helps individuals adapt to stressors and fears in a more clear, constructive, and confident ways. So Adaptiv invites individuals to look deeper into the message behind their emotional manifestations, so what they're feeling, and examine where these reactions may be stemming from, right? Like, what are the thoughts that are causing these feelings? It teaches them to recognize the parts of themselves that need to be given a voice. This blend will partner with individuals in asking them the difficult questions of why they don't feel safe and what part of themselves is in need of attention. So it's so beautiful. It cautions that self-judgment and self-loathing are functions of the inner critic, and only inflict further trauma on an overwhelmed soul. We have to feel these emotions. Adaptiv teaches us the need for kindness towards oneself and self-acceptance for wherever they are on their journey. Oh, I just love this so much. Adaptiv conveys softly the truth that most of life is beyond the ability to control, and that safety is only to be found in the arms of the divine. It reminds the weary soul that the divine has always and will always be there, holding, caring for, and loving them. The invitation from this blend is not to take another step alone when divine love is offering its grace, compassion, and refuge to lean into Adaptiv. To lean into. Adaptiv asks individuals to exercise faith that they will be carried when they no longer know the way, and to believe they are never alone. So, suggested uses: inhale it, diffuse it, place drops in hands, rub, inhale, and then rub here. I added that part. And then you can apply it over your chest, your stomach, or on your forehead. Ingredients are wild orange, which you also get wild orange in this, lavender, and wild orange. Any of the citrus are really uplifting because of their vibrational level. So wild orange, lavender, copaiba, which I love copaiba so much, and that's one that's being rolled out to you guys. Spearmint, neroli, sweet gum, and laurel leaf. And if you want to feel less of these negative emotions, you can use Adaptiv. So anxious, uneasy, worried, self-critical, obsessing, controlling, and fearful. And then the positive properties are reassured, calm, clear, confident, self-acceptance, liberated, trusting, upheld, and safe. Okay. I feel like I've given you guys a lot of information. So with that, I'm going to stop reading out of these because that's a lot of information for you guys. So balance, again, if you ordered over 200 PV, balance is the sorry, it's the consoling blend. It's not the consoling blend. Hold on. Balance. There we go. It's a grounding blend. Because it's made with spruce, which is a tree, hoe wood, frankincense. All of those are trees. They're rooted into the ground. Balance can ground us, right? Reconnect us with Mother Earth. Blue tansy, blue chamomile, and osmanthus. So balance allows us to become balanced in our lives. Again, it's dealing with emotional regulation. It allows us to become grounded, and it invites us to become realigned and present in our lives. So what I'm noticing, the pattern of a lot of these is, which is probably why I'm drawn to so many of them, is that balance. A lot of these oils that I'm teaching about are oils that can help us get back into our bodies and become centered and aligned physically, mentally, spiritually, right? And even aligned with the divine, right? Frankincense does that. So that's what balance can do. And again, you can use it on you and around you. Okay. The positive properties are grounded, stable, connected, committed, self-contained, inner strength, right? Persevering. And it's so interesting too that like these are the ones that we're talking about as you guys are building your businesses, as I'm building my business. All of these oils can help support us as we're building our businesses. It's just, oh my gosh, it's so good. So good. Okay. Next one is the Father's Day kit. You get cedarwood and bergamot with these two. And then the new launch is thyme, which is so cool. Thyme can help us become, we can use it in our cooking, right? And it also helps us with wellness. Use it, sorry, Bunny, is it working? Yeah. Okay. And then again, these are all new launches, right? So juniper berry. I want to give you guys an assignment to look these up and figure out what they are. Sandalwood, geranium, all of these. Vetiver. I love vetiver. It comes from Haiti, comes from the vetiver grass. And this grass is actually different because the roots grow down into the ground, like they go deep into the ground where most roots are very, like of grass are very just at the top. And so vetiver is, I love it. It helps calm. It helps, again, bring me back to center. It smells a bit like dirt, but I just love the smell. I love mixing it with lavender. That's like the ultimate for me. I even made a roller for me. So, another new launch you guys can get, you can replenish your aroma touch kits. And then there's this new launch, the incentive trip kit, where you get all 5 of those newly launched oils. So you get thyme, you get vetiver, you get geranium, you get sandalwood, and you get juniper berry. Okay. So that's what we've got today. I know that was a lot of information. And I'm in like full transparency. I just want to tell you guys where I'm at. I've been a bit all over the place. And I'm working on, I talked to my Heavenly Father and I asked him, like, what is it I need to do to help my business? And he said, stop trying to have so many parties and focus on online. And so I want to encourage you guys to do the same. You guys have access to Mandy's Influencer Academy online, which is beautiful. It's so helpful. It's something that I'm going through. It's something that I need to focus more on. And that's my plan, is just to focus on that, to get that up and going. So if you guys are worried about reaching out, having parties, right, things like that, like, you can focus on online, right, while you're getting to know these oils. I also just want to put it out there again that I'm available to teach classes for you guys. So you're going to be responsible for contacting me, telling me the time, telling me what you want me to teach on, but I'm available to teach, right? If you have people who are interested, I'm available to talk to them. And I'm going to be, really, I'm your contact right now, and probably from here on out. So I know that you guys were working with Lars, and I know that Mandy and John were in helping. But again, I'm available. They've got a lot of stuff going on. So I'm here for you. I just want to throw that out there. But that's what I have. And I'm going to keep showing up, because that's what I do. I show up even when I don't want to. I've had the thoughts of, like, when nobody's coming to these, right? Like, I had one person come last week, which was so great. And I still need to do that video. I apologize, I haven't done that video on the class, but I will get to that. Because things are calming down in my life. But I will get to that, and I will post that. But I'm going to keep showing up even if nobody shows up. So, because it's important for me to show you guys that we can show up even when we don't want to. I really didn't want to come today because I'm exhausted, but I did it anyways. I'm still in like pajamas. To be honest, I haven't brushed my teeth yet. Like, I haven't eaten breakfast. I was like, I got to get on. So that's what I have for you guys. I am here for you. And I want to help you. So I think you guys are wonderful, and I can't wait to start interacting with you more. Please let me know how I can help. And I will talk with you guys next week. And I'm gonna get this uploaded on YouTube. So we're gonna stop my share. And my son's calling me. Perfect timing. So we'll see you guys next week. Bye.